You're a talker. Listening to talkers makes me thirsty.
Minutes of Fame brought to you every week by Indoor Suns Record and the Liquor Portal. We'll be live on Indoor Suns Record's Facebook page every Monday night at 7 p.m. until 7:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Each week, we will be interviewing and playing music from all of your favorite local original bands. At the end of the interview, there will be a 5-minute period where fans can ask questions to our guests in real time. So tune in every week to 15 Minutes of Fame, Monday nights, 7 p.m. to learn about and interact live with band members from all genres of music. If your band is interested in interviewing on our show, please contact us on our Facebook page. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope you enjoy the show.
Welcome to another episode of 15 Minutes of Fame. We are back. And obviously, we're brought to you by Industron Records and the Liquor Portal. I'm your host, Javier, with Cody Musaf and Brian Fisher. So today we got Industron's record artist, JJ Speaks, in the house.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. That's right.
Hello.
And so let's start it right off. Just introduce yourselves. What are your names?
All right.
Who
I'm
are
JD.
you people?
I'm JD. I'm the bass player for JJ Speaks.
I'm Jeff. I'm the drummer.
Dustin, I play guitar.
Very cool, very cool. And so let's just get right to the meat of like influence and stuff. Each of you had to have been raised specifically on a certain type of music to get you where you are today. So what would be like your main influences in your life musically that brought you where you are today?
Mr. Bungle.
Nice.
Mahavishnu Orchestra. Things like that, offbeat stuff, Frank Zappa, the weird things in the world.
Gotcha. What about you, brother?
Man, it comes from all over. I've been a metal fan. I got into psychedelic rock when I was younger, that kind of thing. Jazz from my dad, bluegrass from my stepdad. And
Gotcha.
just love playing the drums, really, for any type.
Awesome.
I would definitely say that we all probably share the Mr. Bungle love weird thing totally. So that's big influence for us. Jeff Beck definitely big influence for me.
I definitely see that in you.
Big influence for me, man. I love that guy. Man, everything else everything really. And when I say everything, I mean like hip hop, country. I like Jerry Reed. I mean, definitely Randy Rhoads. A bunch of stuff like that.
Gotcha. Now, in terms of like influences, and this might have been outside of what we might want to discuss about, but specifically, one of the main things that keeps coming up is a lot of stuff with you, JD, with a lot of people that I meet, and what you have done to influence them with Ballistic, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was in Ballistic for several years.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that? Because, it seems to be this really off topic that everyone's like, oh, yeah, Ballistic. And it's like, what was going on that everyone was just going crazy over it?
Ballistic was just one of them magic combinations, man. The energy and the vibe it put off, and the simplicity of the grooves, but with Ed shredding guitar all over it. It was
Gotcha.
it was a strong thing there for a while.
So you had the metal influences in each of you, but it brought all three of you together to this this jazz fusion style, this heavy jazz fusion style that really thumps. How did you guys come together to just formalize that? Was it just one game plan, like this is what we're doing, or it just like happened?
It was not having a game plan. It was not picking a genre, not deciding we wanted to be one thing. It was I built this project so that we could do anything we want, and that's kind of where our sound come from. Because we'll just try anything. There's no rules.
So is that how you kind of injected the drums in there, in that kind of influence, where you just you knew that this is the kind of pocket you wanted to be in when it came to the drums?
Well, yeah, there were some drums that had been recorded before I joined the band, and in a lot of ways, those recordings really influenced me and interested me in trying to get into a creative project like JJ Speaks. We ended up meeting because I was playing in a metal band down the street, and JD heard me playing drums and kept coming by, and I could hear them jamming down, a couple of doors down. And I was always like, what are they doing, And when JD actually approached me to join the band, it was almost a no-brainer,
Gotcha. It was
That
like,
was-
now.
that was after
get
weeks.
creative, it was finally something I'd been looking for a while,
That was after weeks of going, come on, be my guy.
Yeah,
Be my guy. I'd see him out in public.
Right.
I'd walk up,
Just
whisper in his ear,
coaxed
be
his
my guy.
ass the whole
Be my
time.
guy. It worked.
It took me going on vacation, and when I actually sat back and was trying to relax on the beach, and JD texted me, and I looked down. He said, "Be my guy," and I was like, "You know what? I feel good. Let's do this." So
Was it the same for you? Was it that kind of like, as soon as you started with them, you were like, the pocket just felt right for the type of playing that you do?
Definitely. It was very evident very quickly that it was not going to be a very genre-specific thing, and it was going to be, each song was going to be kind of its own genre, so to speak. So I was very, very attracted to that.
Did you have that kind of influence in terms of your pedal work and the kind of sounds that you have? You're very specific, when we recorded about how the process is and the sound that you want. Was that something that you developed over time with them? Was that something you came on board and said, this is the way I sound?
I definitely have always been kind of like a pedal dork, but I think I even converted you, so to speak. I think he.
I used no effects pedals
He was
before
straight
JJ
in.
Speaks.
I seriously have to
alright.
watch where I
He has
step
more
in
than
the
me
practice space. There's pedals everywhere.
But definitely, I had, at the very first record was very much me experimenting, because it was coming from heavy metal and being that's a heavy tone. Then it was
Right.
let's see what these things do if I make them sound however which way. And then, by the second record, I kind of had a clear vision of, I like these sounds, I don't like these sounds, and yeah.
Well, I definitely felt that when you guys came in the studio. It was a clear vision immediately as to what each of you wanted in the process, and that made it so much easier to get things done. Because when certain bands can come in and they're just scattered and it's just like, well, we'll just kind of, we'll go as it goes along, and maybe this. You guys had a clear vision already, which was really, really cool to have in the studio. I mean, the name itself, though, where did that come from? Who originated that? Was that with you, Jay?
So, growing up, I always thought Pink Floyd was a dude. I thought that was a person.
Gotcha.
And I've always thought that was cool, band names where I thought it was a person and I found out it wasn't. Leonard Skinner, things like that. And so I was like, I like that, so I knew I wanted to do something like that. And the original guy I started the band with, his name started with the J as well. So JJ was instant. And I was like, it's got to be JJ something. And the first thing I said was Speaks, and I laughed about it because we don't have any lyrics. And walked around with it for about a week, and it never left. It's been that since. So.
Well, you got my ass
There it
because
goes.
the first time you mentioned, I was like, "Who the fuck is JJ?" And I came, I was like,
It's
is he
effective,
JJ?
right?
Is
It's
he-
effective.
Was he JJ, Brian? I couldn't remember.
I actually have people calling me JJ
JJD
sometimes.
Speaks doesn't sound good.
Right. Which one's JJ?
Who the fuck is JJ? Well, how did the fan born? We already described some of how you came on board with the drums, but how specifically did you all come together, unite? In terms of how it developed as a project.
I started it with just drums at first because I really couldn't find anybody who wanted to play my weird kind of stuff, and it was just kind of strange because everybody's rock and metal and everything that's
Right.
popular right now, and then people that were in the jazz were too jazzy. You know what I mean? I still wanted the energy of the metal and stuff, and I went down a couple spots in the rehearsal spot where there was this death metal band playing, and Dustin happened to be playing in that band. And instead of chunking out death metal rhythms and stuff, he was over there with effects pedals playing something completely different. And I was like, that's it. That's my dude. I need somebody like that to come put atmosphere on everything. And it went from there.
And secretly, while I was in that said death metal band, I was like, God, I want to be in that band a couple spots down. They could use a guitar player, you know, like, and it just kind of, it worked out.
Yeah. Then we went through several years of not finding the right drummer. We couldn't find the right Jeff. Nobody can be the right Jeff but Jeff. So now we have Jeff.
I gotcha. Now that, off topic again, because that spot has been around for a long time when you guys have been playing. And it's not just you guys there. Like you said, this is like a place where bands just congregate and seem to thrive out of. Is that basically been the history of that place? Just everybody just jams there?
I've been playing in that place in different bands since I was 17.
Holy shit.
And I turn 45 tomorrow.
We're pretty sure we met each other back then. You know, he was playing in, it was Cranium at the time.
I think I was
wasn't
in Cranium.
Yeah.
It was
and
one of those bands.
I was like 15 going up there trying to bum beers and cigarettes.
He was one of
off
the
these
kids
guys,
hanging around
you
wanting to
know?
hear the music.
And, yeah.
Yeah, then we did Saturday Session.
Yeah, but that place has been there a long time. I mean, I have a younger brother that had a space in there at one time.
Wow.
You know, when I was off living in New York, and they,
Because people call it where bands go to die.
yeah, I think it's over. It's like
I've heard that.
two-thirds,
Yeah, I've heard that.
It's like 2/3 of those storage units are all finished out and made to jam in. So
Yeah, it was weird, like
Lakeside.
going down there. Like when I first went down there, and Brian's like, well, let's just go a couple of doors down. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? A couple of doors
Right.
down.
We've
Another
had-
space to practice in. And then it's like,
we have
whoa.
times we're up there drinking, and it'll be like 4 or 5 spaces, and everybody's drinking, and we're just kind of all hanging out in front of the place. It's pretty wild.
That's a
Somebody said make a T-shirt. Who the fuck is JJ? And I now want to do that. Thank you, Christian Tyler. This is going down.
Yeah,
This is
not a
genius.
T-shirt.
I'm glad
You
we
guys
did
are
this.
all
The ideas
fired.
are coming in. I'm loving it. Keep 'em
it was
coming.
all worth it in the end. Well, so what's next for you guys? I mean, what's the next shows coming up?
We are playing this coming Saturday at Another Round Bar and Grill. We have
Another
two good
round.
bands opening up with us too.
Yeah,
We've
yeah.
got 434 and
Mobius Strip.
Yep. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be a hell of a show. It's gonna be awesome. We're so excited because we haven't played in forever. We're gonna play an extra long set, like an hour and a half worth of music.
Wow,
just
so you're
going
pulling
for it.
everything
We're
out.
that excited.
You're pulling everything out, aren't you?
Well, it's not everything,
Yeah,
but it's
not
most
even everything anymore.
Yeah.
We-
Well, I've seen your board. It's scary, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Some of those are just like song names we come up with, so don't
Gotcha.
get too scared.
Right. But yeah, no, we're gonna do a nice long set, man. We're stoked to play. We're stoked that people are getting back together and bands are getting to play again. So
yeah, and we
It's gonna
really
be
want
monumental.
this to be something spectacular in terms of really try and promote it this week because again you have 2 other bands that are just I think a
Little
perfect
Birdie
lineup.
has told me that it's going to be a good turnout.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, and what you guys always do
Little
that.
birdies are smart.
yeah, I like Little Birds.
And Mobius Strip and 434, they have some incredible power as well, which is why it's such a good compliment for you guys to bring down the house in the end, as you always do. So where can we find your music?
Pretty much on anywhere you can stream your music from. Spotify, iTunes, all that for the 2 new singles. If you want to dig up the old classic records, there's like 10 songs available on jjspeaks.bandcamp.com that are free. You can just download them, do what you want with them, check out the older material. But as far as the new singles, they're pretty much everywhere I've looked.
I think we're actually starting to get like a small collection of decent like live videos of us on YouTube too, if that's your thing. So
Cool. So I mean, you guys are everywhere. Older material, new material. We got gigs coming up. Make sure you guys come out and check that out and buy the merch. Is that merch available also on that website, or is that just?
We do not have the merch site up yet.
Okay.
That is something we're working on, but it'll be up soon.
Okay.
But we do have new merch at this show as well. We've got a new T-shirt design on 2 color shirts, and I think we're going to have some new stickers as well. So, new merch at the table.
Awesome. I love being broke on Saturday because I'm just gonna spend everything.
Give me
I
your
got.
money.
Give me your fucking money.
buy our stuff. Be
Well,
eternally happy.
let's hear this tune because this is a really, really good one, guys. This is recorded at Indoor Suns Studios. This is JJ Speaks with the Great Appeaser. Cody, what you got?
All right, guys, let's get your questions in when we come back. Here's the song. And we are back.
Hey,
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello there.
from where we once were before.
where did we go?
I remember that.
I went left. You guys went right. I don't know
We're
what the
floating
hell you
in
were
disco
doing, but
space, according to that.
Yeah, I like
we
that.
somehow wound
Disco
up back in front of my
space.
house where we were supposed to be. So that was a quick
Disco
trip.
space.
Yeah. Grabbed
We
a
need
couple
this
hoagies.
behind us when we play shows, man.
Yeah, we need a green screen.
I want
I
that
can't
disco
believe we haven't
space.
caught up with that technology.
It's a disco ball in space.
Green screen is so fun to mess with. I just want to like do karate in the ocean.
Yeah.
We just make it look like we're anywhere. I like this.
Yeah.
Is this what the kids do now?
I know, right?
This is what the kids do?
I secretly, with all of the video, I just never leave here.
Awesome.
They just lock me
Right.
in the room, and I
Just
just keep buying
go
bigger
up there
pieces
with-
of green fabric.
Right. Beach scenes. Like, hello from Hawaii.
This guy travels an
Aloha.
awful lot.
Greetings from Singapore.
That'd be a conversation I'd get at the bar, like, dude, I just saw you at the beach. Like, how did you
Oh.
get back so fast?
Hey, wait, are we supposed to be
beach were
answering
you at?
questions or something? Like,
do the
is that what we're
Scooby-Doo
doing?
ending
Is
at
that
the
what
end,
this
though?
part is? We're answering. Do it.
Let me
Can you
know when
make
the
us?
end
Can you
is.
make us wavy on the screen?
Yeah,
there,
can
bro?
we do the?
Can you
You
wave
got
us
to
Can
out?
change
we
those
wave ending?
backgrounds. You definitely got to do that.
Can we do that? I'll sign your face, Lurch. I'll sign your face, son.
Sign whatever you want.
I'll sign your face.
It's just like tattooing. I mean, like, if it gets weird, there is, like, a handling fee for what he's signing. If it gets weird.
Oh, okay. From Derek McGee from Gutter
What's up, Derek?
Will you guys get a singer, or did you all form the band as just an instrumental?
Can I handle this one?
Please.
That's a big fat no.
He said no singers. It's staying the way it is because they're happy.
We're not like anti-singer or anything, you know. It's nothing like that. There's a few people that, you know, we've talked about, or at least entertained about, just having them come in and jam, that kind of thing, you know. But I don't think we would ever commit to.
Like, definitely
You know.
feature a vocalist at some
Yeah, maybe
point.
at some
we
point,
maybe do
something
something
like
like,
that.
not like for a record, but like a live show, bring somebody.
Right.
But
Gotcha.
that's
You know,
not-
not against it, but it'll never happen.
Those can be.
Yeah.
Those can be fun.
We would probably just write music under a different name if we wanted to
Gotcha.
do that, which we've
Gotcha.
talked about. In the future, there may be other projects that we do that are vocal, but JJ is JJ, except for maybe some live stuff like they were saying.
All right. So who's fucking JJ again? I don't
We're
get
gonna
it.
find that guy.
We're gonna figure this out. He was in the car.
Well, since we're talking about basses, what bass are you currently using right now?
I'm using the Ibanez 7-string.
7-string
You play
bass.
harp.
Complete overkill. Yes, but it's a beautiful
That's-
thing.
That's a lot of
and I
fucking
like
strings,
it,
yeah.
and it's extreme. It's compensation. No
What
matter
about
I tell
drums?
you,
What are
that's
you
it
playing
is.
on now?
I've actually got a 5-piece Ludwig jazz kit. That's the smaller tom, and my favorite thing about it's got this little custom 4-inch tom on the top. And when I hit it, everybody knows it.
That it's you.
It barks.
It barks.
Yeah, and it's interesting sound. You know, I don't think I've ever been to a show, you know, where there wasn't like this 100-piece drum set with rototoms and all that stuff, where you actually hear a noise like that coming out of a kit.
Gotcha.
Most normal kits.
I got you.
So that's a fun drum.
And what about your gear? So tell me about that.
I'm still on the Telecaster SG kick, and I recently bought myself an Epiphone Casino, and it should be here any day. So I'm
Nice,
excited about
nice.
that.
And when you listen to the Great Appeaser in the single, when you're listening to those guitars, in terms of him being methodical about his sound, in terms of when you hear that track, you're actually hearing so many different layers of that guitar being switched back and forth between the SG and your other guitar, your Telecaster. And sometimes they're even blended and crossfaded together in and out of each other. So it's that's the kind of sound that you're getting out of a blended sound between two guitars and the kind of gear that he had. What was that question, Brian?
I play guitar.
I play bass.
I don't play anything. I'm just. Well, yeah.
He's
Mouth
just a
harp.
I
headman.
messed it up. You could have.
Yeah,
I should
Mouth
have.
harp.
I do the beatboxing.
That was a missed opportunity.
Last live show, how you guys rotated the glockenspiel solos, dude, I was so there for it. It was.
You got to bring out the Glock.
Oh,
I was raised on it.
it made
you
me
know,
feel
it's-
some kind of way.
We like making people feel some kind of way.
Walk out with your Glock out.
Yeah.
Can you say that?
I feel
I
like
just
that's,
did.
that's like that's a couple trigger words that just melded together.
Yep, we're done here.
Oh God.
All right, awesome, guys. Well, this Saturday, come out to Another Round Bar and Grill. Support the local scene. These guys are going to be just killing it with 434 and Mobius Strip. So definitely come on out. Let's pack this place. Things are getting better. Come on out. We really going to have a great show that night. Cody, want to take us out?
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stepping into my humble abode.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for
man.
having
Glad
us.
Thanks
we
for
made
putting
it
us in
back.
disco space.
Yeah, right.
We need a disco ball.
It feels good here.
Emma, if you're listening, disco ball. Write that down. All right,
Disco.
guys. Tune in next week. 15 Minutes of Fame every Monday, 15 minutes, 7 p.m. for Grim. Later, guys.